McCarlan's through, he might go for it, still going, trying to barge his way through, goes to the shot, what a goal!
Arriving Rian O'Neill from an almost impossible angle, and that's the rousing score Armagh were looking for.
Conor Turbin kicks this one in, that's absolutely superb.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sideline Eye podcast. You're very welcome to our club roundup show, and we're looking back at everything that happened on the club scene this week. There was games on Thursday and Friday, so we'll take a quick run through all the games. Unfortunately, we have no highlights and no interviews this week, but we'll be back hopefully with a few interviews and highlights of next week's games. So starting as usual in our Division 1A roundup. Tonight's results, all these games were played on Friday night. So a first half goal from Daniel Comiskey helped Crossmaglen overcome Armagh Harps in their Division 1A clash. The visitors carried an 8-point lead into the half-time interval, and they were ahead 0-4 to 1-9 at half-time, with Cian McConville playing wing half forward for Crossmaglen on the night. Daniel Comiskey opened the scoring for the second half, while the Harps responded through their full forward, James Walsh. Cross pushed their advantage out to 12 midway through the second half and eventually ran out 1-18 to 0-8 winners. Joe Sheridan claimed the all-important goal for Madden as they saw off Graham with 2 points to spare. 5 points was the difference at the half-time break, with the home side leading at the interval. But Graham were able to pull it back a bit in the second half. But ultimately, Sheridan's first half goal was enough to help Madden earn a 1-9 to 0-10 victory. Clonerne continued their unbeaten run at the top of the table, and they beat Drummondhee by 3 points in the end, winning 0-16 to 1-10, while Cleavey handed Silverbridge their first defeat of the campaign, coming away with a 0-10 to 0-8 win. So that leaves Clonerne and Crossmaglen tied at the top of the table. Clonerne currently have the number one position based on the head-to-head with Cross. They beat Cross a couple of weeks ago. So they're at the top with 12 points from 7 games. They've yet to lose a game. Clonerne have won 5 of their 7 games and drawn 2. Crossmaglen have played a game extra than Clonerne. They're on 12 points as well, and having played 8, they have won 6 and lost 2. Silverbridge, that defeat on Friday night just sees them slip down to 3rd position, and they're currently on 9 points, with the Harps in 4th place, just 1 point behind them on 8. Cleavey are in 5th position. They have 7 points from their 8 outings, while Madden are in 6th position on 6 points. On the bottom two, Drummondhee and Greenmore, they currently have 2 points apiece, so they're sitting in the 2 relegation zones at the minute. In Division 1B then, an injury time save from Sarsfield's goalkeeper Stephen McArdle saw them collect 2 points against St Peters on Friday night. Sarsfield trailed by 2 points at the half-time break, but hit the net twice after the half-time interval to win the game. St Peters got off to the best start, with 3 points in a row coming from Rory McDonald, Niall McConville and Conan Moore. Sarsfield did tie things up with a Thomas McAleenan goal, while Ryan Kelly and Micheál McKenna swapped scores. McKenna also traded scores with Niall McConville, who went on and tagged a brace of points late in the half to give St Peters a 2-point lead at the half-time interval, with the scoreline reading 0-7 to 1-2 at half-time. McConville and McKenna once again cancelled each other out before Patrick McGavigan split the posts for Sarsfields. Eugene Dorn and substitute Gavin McCormick raised white flags for the visitors before McKenna and Eamon McGowan palmed home goals late in the game. McArdle then pulled off a fine save from the penalty spot, and that gave the hosts a 2-point victory in the end, winning 3-4 to 0-11, and that was Sarsfield's second victory of the league campaign. Also in Division 1B, Cullaville came away with a 1-point win over Ballymacnab on home turf. Ryan Duffy scored the winner later on for Cullaville as they came from 2 points down to beat Ballymacnab by the minimum of margins. The Blues were on home turf and they hit 3 points, 3 of the final points of the game to win by 1 in the end. Dara Quinn and Fergal Kieran swapped scores with Jack Rugan and Kieran Hughes early on before the Nab hit 3 points on the bounce. Hughes and Grugan both raised white flags, as did centre half-back Benny Gribben. Dara Quinn and Charlie Yarvey pointed at one end while Ryan Waters added a free for Ballymacnab at the other end. Nell Rowland came on during the first half for the injured Dara Quinn, and he punched home a goal just before the short whistle sounded, and that gave Danny Hughes' men a 1-point lead at the half-time break, with the scoreline reading 1-4 to 0-6. It was pretty much score for score at the start of the second half, with Ryan Waters, Kieran Hughes and Jack Grugan matching scores from Charlie Garvey, substitute Stephen McCreesh and Nell Rowland. Fergal Trainer split the posts for Cullaville before Pierce Hughes smashed home a goal from the penalty spot with the help of the crossbar to put Ballymacnab ahead for the first time in a while. Pierce Hughes then fired over a 45, but Cullaville hit the final 3 points of the night through Fergal Trainer, Nell Rowland and Ryan Duffy to win by the minimum of margins. Elsewhere in Division 2B, Division 1B, Cormac Smith and Patrick Hughes both netted for Mullabone as they saw off Clonagale with 4 points to spur 2-10 to 0-12, while Mahary continued their outstanding form and they beat Cullyhanna on home turf 0-14 to 0-8. So it's Mullabone who still lead the way at the top of the table. They've only been beaten once in 7 games and they have 11 points at the top of Division 1B. Mahary are just below that and they've also only been beaten once and they have 10 points in second place. As Clonagale next on 8 points from 8 games, and St Patrick's Cullyhanna just underneath that with 7 points from 8 games. Cullaville are in 5th position on 6 points, with Ballymacnab just below on 6 points as well, while St Peter's and Sarsfields are the bottom 2 in Division 1B, and they are both tied on 5 points at the minute. In Division 2A then, it was a goal from Carcruppen's Tiernan Kelly that helped them pick up a 5-point win over Katy as they remain at the top of Division 2A, although they're joined on 11 points with St Paul's. Tiernan Kelly nailed that goal from the penalty spot inside the first half, and that gave Carcruppen a 1-11 to 0-9 win. Likewise, St Paul's picked up 2 points that were available on Friday night as well when they travelled to Tullysarn. Darren Fox nailed the match-winning goal for Ronan Clark's side and they ran out 3-point winners in the end, 1-12 to 0-12. Gavin Conlon and Mark McKeever top scored for the home side on the night as they hit 0-4 apiece, while Barry Toner, James Madden, Kieran O'Riordan and Eddie Mullen also chipped in with scores for Tullysarn. Grange picked up their second win on the trot as they overcame Shane O'Neill's by the minimum of margins. 1 point separated the teams at the full-time whistle, with Grange edging out a 0-11 to 0-10 win. So that leaves Carcruppen and St Paul's joined at the top of the table on 11 points apiece, both having played 8 games. Pearse Ogue are just underneath that. They have 8 points from 7 games, while the Grange now shoot up to 4th position and they have 6 points from their 7 games. They're one of 4 teams joined on 6 points. Katy are in 5th position on 6, Knockmore in 6th position on 6, and Shane O'Neill's are currently sitting 7th in the table with 6 points, while Tullysarn are at the bottom. They have 4 points, but they've only played games, so they have 2 games in hand on some of the other teams in the division. Division 2B then, Bilek claimed an 8th win on the trot as they extended their winning streak at the top of the Division 2B table. They beat Clonmore on Thursday night by 11 points. Callum O'Neill and James McParlin raised the green flags for the home side as they ran out Comfortable winners on the night, 2-10, 2-5. Robbie McGuinness nailed the all-important goal for Whitecross as they saw off Crossmaglen seconds by 3 points on Friday night. A trademark solo run from Mark Shields cut open the home defence and McGuinness finished the ball to the net to give his side a 1-8 victory. Elsewhere in Division 2B, Clonard seconds picked up a 3-13 2-9 win over Darrynus, while a first half goal from Paul Hendren allowed Tiernan to beat Wolf Tones on Friday night with 2 points to spare, 1-8 So Blake are well ahead at the top of the Division 2B table. They have 8 wins from their 8 games, and that leaves them on 16 points. Wolf Tones are the closest team. They have 11 points from 8 games, while Clonard have 9 points from 8 games. Just below that, Whitecross on 8 points, and they're in 4th place, while Darrynus are in 5th place with 6 points. They're joined currently on 6 points with Tiernan. At the bottom of the table then, Clonmore have 2 points in 7th place, while Crossmaglen Rangers seconds still have nothing to show for their efforts. Division 3A then, St Michael's Newtown edged out a 6-goal clash with Lissummon to take home a 2-point win on Friday night, with the game ending 3-10 3-8. Emmett O'Malley, John Joe Paul and Brian Cardy all raised green flags for St Michael's, while Lissummon had 3 goal scorers of their own on the night as well, with Michael McCaffrey, Shea Traynor and Mickey Robinson all hitting the net. McCaffrey and Traynor top scored for Lissummon with 1-1 apiece, while Shane Mackle also chipped in with 0-3. College Land earned their first win of the season and handed Ballyhagan their first defeat of the season when the two sides clashed on Friday night. Oliver Murphy on a superb individual goal from Shane Donnelly. Murphy and Donnelly hit the goals for Paul Doyle's side as they picked up a 2-11 points win. Middletown beat Portmore by 7 points on Friday evening, winning 116-19. Sean McGuinness claimed the goal for Middletown with the last kick of the game, while Mark Curran hit the net for Portmore. On Thursday night, Forkhill picked up 2 points as they saw off Earl on home turf 3-13-11. So despite suffering the first defeat of the season, Ballyhagan still remain at the top of the table with 12 points, while Middletown and Forkhill and Portmore all are part of the chasing pack. They claim 2nd, 3rd and 4th place, and they're all tied on 10 points. St Michael's are in 5th place on 7 points. Earl are just below that on 5 points, while College Land and Lissummon currently hold the bottom 2 positions, and they're both tied on 4 points apiece at the bottom of the table. In Division 3B then, Thomas Davis extended their winning streak at the top of the Division 3B league table as they earned a 7th consecutive victory. They beat Modern Seconds on Friday night with 7 points to spur at the full-time whistle 1-8-4. St Peter's Seconds are currently in 2nd place and they earned a 6th straight win in a row, having only been beaten once this year, and that was by league leaders Thomas Davis. St Peter's saw off Darcy by 2 points on Friday evening, winning our scoreline of 115-113. There was plenty of drama in Ballymacnabb on Friday night as Clady earned a 1-point win over Mullabrack, with Sean Savage claiming the match-winning score. Mullabrack had just nailed a goal to tie things up late on, but Savage gave Clady the final say with the last score of the game. Liam Doyle gave a man-of-the-match performance for the eventual winners, and he rattled off a personal tally of 2-6 on the night, while Jared McGowan chipped in with 0-2, and Malachi McGowan also got in on the scoring act for Clady as well. Redmond O'Halloran's bounced back from their defeat to St Peter's Seconds on Monday evening as they picked up a 3-14-6 win over Killian on Friday night. Ben Canavan, Stephen Daly and Adam Canavan all raised green flags for the winning side. So Thomas Davis are clear at the top of the table by 2 points. They have 14 points for their efforts with 7 wins from 7 games. St Peter's, as I mentioned, have only 1 loss to their on their record so far, so they're in 2nd place on 12 points. Just below that then, Mullabrack and Darcy are sitting in 3rd and 4th, and they both have 8 points apiece, while O'Hanlon's are in 5th place on 7 points. Clady then are just below that in 6th place and they have 5 points. Cleavey seconds have 4 points, and at the bottom of the table, Modden second sit on 2 points, while Killian have 0 so far from their 6 games. So that's our weekly roundup of all the club games. We'll be back hopefully with a podcast this evening, obviously at the Armagh and Westmeath game. Armagh take on Westmeath in the first round of the All-Ireland series, so we'll hopefully get a few interviews from that, and we'll have a podcast out on either Saturday night or Sunday. There's plenty of county action this week. The Armagh Camogues begin their All-Ireland series. They host Tyrone in Ballymacnabb at 1 o'clock on Saturday, so we'll be covering that game as usual with previews on match reports and everything else, and the same for the Armagh game against Westmeath. Tomorrow evening we have previews and everything else that's linked to that game all on the website. At the minute we'll hopefully have a podcast too from that game on Saturday night. On Sunday, of course, the Armagh Miners are in the Ulster final, the first team to reach the Ulster final since 2014, and Armagh haven't won a title at this age grade since 2009. So anybody sitting on the fence or anything, try to get to Omagh on Sunday to give the lads a big push. The game is in Omagh on Sunday at 1 p.m. So best of luck to them. To Aidan O'Rourke and all his management team and players. Hopefully they can do the county proud against Derry and put in a good display. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and anywhere else that you'd like to follow us. And make sure to tune in to all our podcasts that we'll have coming up in the next few weeks and months. So hopefully be back on Saturday evening and chat to everybody then. Thanks.
Harlan's through, he might go for it, still going, trying to barge his way through, goes to the shot, what a goal! Arriving Rian O'Neill from an almost impossible angle, and that's the rousing score Armagh we're looking for.
Connor Turbin kicks this one in on an absolutely superb